All right, appreciate you being here. Exciting week, to say the least, getting an opportunity to play in the CFP, something we've spoken about around here as a goal, and now we get to go do it. So in a normal game week, as of today, guys had finals last week, which we still go to school around here, believe it or not. So they had to go do that last week, had finals, finished that on Friday, did some meetings, some lifting, some positional work last week, and then really practiced Saturday. Yesterday was off because you have to have one day off in the game week, and then today's a Monday, and it's a real Monday for the game week as well, which is nice. So we're on that schedule. We'll practice off-site the next 2 days to get on grass, playing on natural grass this week. Don't always have the luxury of doing that during the school year. Played on grass earlier twice this year, and don't have grass practice fields here with the space, and so we'll go off campus and practice twice the next 2 days just for the footing and getting our guys on the grass. So, but that'll be the week, and then the rest of the week will be Thursday here, walk through, Friday, run through, go play, get on a plane, go up there, go play Saturday. So with that, we'll open up to questions.
Coach, it seems as though it's been like a man-in-the-mirror type of mindset when you look at the opponent that you've already seen. And I know you said that even with their coaching changes, you're more concerned about you all. So what is the mindset in the postseason now?
Well, it's still a game. Like I told our team just now after practice, there's going to be a lot of hoopla around it's a CFP game. And so, Nike sent some new shoes for the guys because we're a CFP team, or whoever's – you're going to have a little different schedule maybe with some media stuff because you got maybe a little bit more requests on that end and certain things. But I'm like, hey, you know what? We're still doing it at 2:30 on Saturday. We're playing a football game. And we have to play a better football game than the last time we played in Oxford, Mississippi, because last time we played rotten. And they played good. Hats off to them. They played good, and they're a really good team. There's a reason why they're in the position they're in, playing in that league and having the record they have. They're a big-time team. And so I just want to see us play a better version of Tulane football than what I saw last time we went up there. And I think we're a better football team right now, but we got to go put it on display. And the only way you do that is by having great preparation all week. We have to have a really good week of prep. Today was good. Tomorrow we got to be physical. I understand it's mid-December. We got to practice with physicality tomorrow if we want to play with any physicality on Saturday. So. But it's about having an opportunity to put yourself in the best position to go 1-0 this week. And at the end of the day, we're playing a football game. And, yeah, there's a lot maybe more noise around the game, but when the game starts, it's just the game.
You mentioned that you're a better football team. What do you feel like this team has grown the most since that Week 4 loss?
Well, I think a lot of ways. I think you could look at the tangible things maybe on the grass. I think our throw game is a lot better than it was then. Last time we played, early in the year, we were a little out of sync, if you will, for the first month. The Duke game, at times we threw it okay. We were really running the football good at that time. We weren't throwing it great. I think defensively we're playing better in the box, at the line of scrimmage in particular. I think we've been better against the run. We've improved there. We got a young secondary that didn't have a whole lot of starts under their belt coming into the year because 3 of our DBs from last year's team are in the NFL right now. One's a starter at another SEC school, right? And so, or maybe part-time starter. So there was a lot of guys who were breaking into new roles and playing more snaps than ever played. So that's been improved. That's been a huge component. And then I think just togetherness. We've talked a lot about you got 60-something new players out of 116. And Jake Retzlaff, who was a starting quarterback at that time and still is, he's still making sure he understood his teammates and learned all their names. I mean, he was a month and a half into the role here. And so a lot of things have changed with this team. I think this team's also created confidence, and we've had some adversity and we've responded. I think this team's created confidence in the fact that we found different ways to win games. A lot of different ways. It hasn't been like one formula. There's a lot of different formulas we found that we can win a football game through.
And you mentioned as well, obviously Ole Miss has been a playoff team, played like a playoff team all season, but they've got better too.
Yeah.
What are the ways in which you've seen them grow since then?
I think their versatility offensively. You know, the quarterback's a really good player. The running back's a great player. Their O-line, I think, has gotten better as the year's gone. They've had different receivers step up at different times. Tight ends are good. I think defensively, I think their linebackers are elite communicators. When I watched this number 6 just on tape, and then when I watched him play live back early in the year, man, he's like what I would call an air traffic controller out on the football field. He's telling everybody what to do, how to get them lined up. He's an elite level communicator in setting the table of the defense. I thought they were really suffocating against us in the secondary with our receivers. I think they've continued to be that way a lot of the year. I think they've gotten better on defense as the year's gone. I think their specialists are elite. Like they got really good guys in the kicking game, and they do a good job. They're very sound. So when I watch them, I have a lot of respect for how they've done it and how they've built it. And I think they're as talented of a team as there is in the country, in my opinion.
So I guess it was announced earlier that you're donating $100,000 to Tulane. Just can you talk about that a little bit and what that means to you?
Yeah. So my wife and I back 2 months ago made the decision to do this. So I was doing this if I stayed, and then when I decided in 2026 I'm going to be the coach at a different school, me and my wife, if you know us, we go on walks every day. Right after practice, typically for about half an hour, just so we can make sure we stay married and actually know each other, what's going on in the real world with each other. And I don't know, a couple weeks ago when all this kind of started to unfold with 2026 maybe looking different for us, one of the things we talked about was like, hey, we still want to do this. I'll be honest with you. I told the administration here I still wanted to do that, barring they hired a coach that I approved of. Okay, and so if they'd hired some schmuck, I probably wouldn't have kept doing it. But they hired Will Hall, who I have great respect for. Will's been on our staff the last year. I've coached against Will a long time. And so I want to see Will have continued success. And I would say this too. This place, the university, the city, has meant the world to me and my family. Always will. Like always will. And so for us, the fact that we're not going to be here next year doesn't change that we're Tulane fans. We're New Orleanians. Like this is home in a lot of ways. My 2 oldest kids were born here. So, and I've talked a lot about when you leave a place, that matters how you leave it just as much as how you enter it. I want to leave on good terms. And I want to be able to come back in 20 years and celebrate this team that's won a championship already together and not be like, oh, the way he walked out the building was kind of questionable. I want them to go, man, he did it the right way. And so I want to see Tulane get better after I leave. Mm-hmm. I want to see it continue to grow after I leave or my family leaves. I'm hoping for more. I don't want this to be the end of anything. I want this to continue to build upon this.
And then with Jamari McClure, you've mentioned many times, he didn't play until his junior year of high school. He had a ton of maturing to do. Where was the main way he matured as this season went along to get into the role he is now?
He's really come a long way maturing as a person and as a player. I think he's grown up a lot. I think his consistency has improved. Like Jamari's such a talented athlete. There's always been the flash. Like you've had moments where, like last year at UAB when he's a redshirt player, but he played in a couple games, and UAB was one of them, and you're like, whoa, this guy's got a chance to be really good. The consistency was not there, and so he's really, I think he's invested in his preparation and his craft. He's become more of a serious minded guy with his approach to how he does things. He's become much more detailed, and then that's made him more consistent.
And then one quick one on your 2026 job. DJ Lagray announced he's entering the transfer portal. Is that something you kind of anticipated, or can you comment on that?
I'm not really going to comment. Nothing but respect for DJ. Whatever he chooses to do, I'm gonna love all those guys that are there or here, whatever they choose to do. I'm not really going to get into that too much. But the one thing I will get back into, I would like to challenge everybody. Like we gave that gift, I want everybody to give. Like if you care about Tulane football, continue to be good. Help these guys continue to be good.
You've talked before about the 2 jobs, kind of juggling. But how difficult has that been for you?
At times it's been really hard. Honestly, when I was down there some this past week. Like a week ago, it was probably I was trying to get a lot done in a short amount of time. Right. I was there for 4 days, and I just needed to get a lot of things done on that end to set up what we're going to do moving forward. The hardest part is, like, I care about people on this side, that side, every part of it, and just making sure that I'm communicating with everybody, you know, whether they're staying here or on that side, people that I had to move on from to make room for hire my staff. That's the hardest part, is just getting all those meetings done the right way, face to face. I'm not somebody that's ever like wanted to have somebody else handle my business. I want to handle my own business and how I talk to people. And so I think that's probably been the biggest challenge, is you have to really prioritize the people in those conversations. And then at the end of the day too, I'm really focused on like just what really matters. So like I've still got probably like 200 and something text messages I haven't responded to. I have 100 and something that aren't marked as unread, but I haven't read them, so I don't know how to find them. And so like responding to everybody on my phone is not real important right now. Making sure I coach this team to the best of my ability to help them be successful matters. And then trying to assemble the staff there that's going to help me be successful moving forward matters. And then making sure I work through this staff here with Will to help make sure if there's something I can do to help him be successful moving forward, that matters. Outside of that, there's not a whole lot. And then the players on both sides, I've encouraged all the guys here to stay here. I'm trying to get as many guys there that want to stay, but I'm not going to beg anybody. The way I've recruited everybody my whole career is through honesty and truth and being up front. And so it's taken a lot. It's been a lot. There's been nights where I've slept a couple hours, and this past Friday and Saturday I slept for like 7 hours each night, and I woke up and I'm like, oh my gosh, this feels amazing.
Does it ever get confusing which hat you're wearing, or, you know?
Not really, because I'm, you know, when things come up that are about Tulane football, easy to focus on because I've been doing it the last few years. When things come up on the other side, not real hard to do because I can quickly go, hey, we got to do what's best for the University of Florida and that football program moving forward. And so not been that hard.
Last thing, Pete Golding had some funny comments the other night saying he FaceTime. What's your all's relationship like? How do y'all go back?
He FaceTimed me this morning. I'm like, are you working? Like, I got 2 jobs. All right? No. Pete and I love Pete. Pete and I have kind of zigged and zagged across each other career-wise. Like, I was coaching here, and he was at Southeastern Louisiana, and then he was at Southern Miss, I believe. I went to Troy. He went to Texas San Antonio. I went to Ole Miss. He went to Alabama, and then I went to Kentucky, still Alabama. Pete and I have a great friendship, a lot of respect. He's one of the guys when we talk a decent amount. When his name comes up on my phone, I'm never want to hit the end button because I like talking to him. Got a lot of respect for him. I'm happy for him. I really am. He's a good guy. He's a good football coach. He does things the right way, and he's authentic. He's genuine. I think we're wired similar in that regard. Like, what you see is what you get with Pete. I also like Pete because he cusses more than me, that's maybe hard to find. So he makes me feel good about my tongue.
Kind of cool that you both now are all the roads you traveled. You're both now going to be leading SEC.
It's cool. You know, defensive guys, we're not sexy. Like, everybody wants a sexy offensive play caller. That's what everybody wants. And so for us, defensive guys, you know, I to get a head job, I had to do it at Troy and kind of work my way up. And for him to get a head job in the SEC right out of the gates, I think probably even more unique and rare. But defensive guys, we're not always the flashiest hire, but I think you find a lot of substance. And I think you find some toughness and some grit and attitude and edge and relatability because we're both, I think, wired similarly.
Over here, in some ways, this matchup will be seen as, you know, when we talk about the less than ideal calendar and how things can work out with coaching staffs, the best case scenario at Tulane versus maybe the worst case scenario where they have all this upheaval, right? I mean, they're not only did they not have their head coach anymore, but like a lot of the offensive staff, all the players know that those guys are leaving too, even though they've been allowed to stay for this. How do you see that in the big picture? And just in your experience as a coach, Do you think that's an extra challenge that they're going to have to deal with? Not that they won't deal with it well, but it's an extra challenge for them?
I'll be quite honest, I haven't thought about their challenges. I've thought about ours and maybe the matchup problems they present, and they're really talented. We're in the college football playoff. So I don't think anybody's going to be doing anything other than trying to play their best. I do think, for me, the only thing I have thought about is there's certain things that Lane as a head coach may do in regards to the flow of the game stuff that I don't have any information on Pete because he hadn't done it. So there's plenty of information. There's 50-something games of information on how I've done things, and we've tried to make sure we give ourselves an opportunity to win games. So I think we probably have to be a little bit more prepared for punt fakes, surprise on sides, those sort of things, because there's a new head coach that may have a little different spin on how he wants to play the game. And so you have to consider some intricacies and details of maybe certain parts of the game could look a little different.
Back here, Coach, you talked about the matchup in the regular season and how you guys were a little bit worn from the war of attrition with those first 3 games. And then in the regular season also, the bye weeks always fall with a Thursday game. How much fresher is this team with an actual full bye week heading into this matchup?
I really liked the mini bye where we played on a Thursday out of the bye this year. I didn't hate that because sometimes I don't love big lulls. Like, you get in the rhythm of the season, and I'm like, let's just keep playing. Like, I'd almost be fine with it if we didn't have bye weeks at all. So, like, after we played the conference championship game, if you'd have told me the CFP game was the next Saturday night, I would have been cool with that. So, I think this team, we try to make sure we gave them the opportunity to heal up, get fresh last week. But there is also a component to where your rhythm and timing and speed of the game, you lose if you don't keep your sword sharp. Iron sharpens iron as one man sharpens another. Like, you got to stay sharp. And this game, it's a fast, physical game. There's always the balance of how do you make sure your team is fresh and fast, but also physical and strong and ready to compete, because it's a physical game and this is a physical football team we're going to play.
And secondly, you talked about obviously the matchup and how it was one-sided last time, but there was never, in certain words, a chip on your shoulder. But how is it as far as trying to get back against Ole Miss from what happened in the regular season?
Well, look, I told our team on Saturday's team meeting, you never in life get a second chance to make a first impression. We can't do that one over, all right? But we do get an opportunity to at least play with redemption in mind in regards to our performance. The scoreboard's the scoreboard, man. Like, we may against this opponent, we may play great and still not have our desired outcome. They're pretty good. I want to win every game we play too now. Like, y'all have heard me say around here, there's a reason the scoreboard has electricity. I want to win. The goal this week's to go 1-0. All right? But more importantly, I just want our team to be prepared the right way and go put their best foot forward. I can live with outcomes and results. I just want this team to give this opportunity everything it has to go let it all hang out and have fun and do it together.
To kind of build off of that, I think last time you played Ole Miss, Trinidad Chambliss was only making his second start.
Yeah.
Now you got a lot more film on him. Just what have you seen from him specifically over the last couple games?
Yeah, he makes quick decisions with the football in the throw game. When it design runs, he runs it well. He's also, when it's not there in the throw game, can create and extend plays. Does a really good job of getting vertical in the rush lanes on pass plays where things aren't there. He gets quick yardage. He doesn't try to take forever and go lateral, run to the sideline, outrun everybody. He'll try to go to 0 to 60 real fast, vertical towards the goal line. And so he's got good management, good operation of how they're trying to do things. I think he's really efficient. He's protected the football for the most part, made good decisions. I think they do a good job of playing to his strengths and helping him do things with efficiency. And I got a lot of respect for the player. When he had started the Arkansas game the week before, we played him earlier in the year, and I like both their quarterbacks, but I watched him and I'm like, whoa, this guy, for only being in the system for the summer, is very, very impressive. Thank you. Good. Appreciate y'all.